Good morning, everyone. I thought today we would make some little fatty snowmen. I am going to use the double rod method for laying down my white here on his little paunch. So, let's go. Okay, here we go. I am heating up about a 3-inch length, 2.5, 3-inch length of Creation is Messy piece. And I am going to fold it on top of itself, like I showed you in that double rod video, because I want a big blob of glass to work with. So one thing that I just found out is that this glass is a little shocky. And so the first time I tried this, it broke. It shattered. So you might want to heat your rod up in the kiln before you do this double rod method, and that'll just help it from not being so shocky when you go to use it. Of course, you know, I'm rushing, trying to go fast, and that's what you get. So I'm just heating up the end there that I folded over, and I'm gonna tack it down just like that. Let me see if I can get some better focus here for you guys. Okay, focus is adjusted, and now I am just heating up the tip of those 2 rods to lay them down on my mandrel. And it's a little bit of a rotating trick to get them both heated at the same rate, but that's all right. And I'm gonna kind of squish them a little bit together here. I found that making myself a nice taper at the end really helps with this double rod method. Okay, here we go. Wow, look at that gather of glass. It's huge. I feel like a Boro, like a Boro person. All right, so in making my little prototypes here, I found that it takes about 4 wraps of glass going across to fit in I'm gonna use my bead roller. And so that's good. I've got my 2 wraps side by side. It helps with the measuring. And I am just laying down my glass here, still paying attention to those mandrel holes. You want those to be nice and even. But boy, does this make laying down the glass go really quick. All right, let me get one here. And I'm just getting that glass on. You know, again, with the prototyping and making my little samples, I found that about a 2.5 to 3-inch length of glass is what I needed to make this bead. So, you know, you gotta kind of suss it out a bit. There's one there. And if you get like to the end right here, you can always turn your double rods sideways and then give you a single rod to work with if you have a little skinnier area. All right, let me get the last of this glass on, and then I will show you guys how I use my bead roller. Okay, here we go. Look at that wad of glass. It's huge. And it's not necessarily even. So it's okay, because we are going to use our tool to help us get a nice, even, round, poojy little tummy on our snowman. So I'm getting that bead nice and hot. It's not real soupy. I would say the outside layers are soupy, but the inside layers are still a little bit hard. And that first roll is going to be very, very gentle. And I'm not even rolling it yet. I'm more like pressing it just to get it into the initial shape, to get it concentric and round. And then I will do the roll. And I cranked up the old torture-rooney so we can make this go a little faster. There we go. Nice and gentle. Be gentle, show some love. And I think I'm okay with this one side right here being kind of flat, because it kind of gives me a platform to put his little head on. so I'm not so worried about that. And there you go, a nice little poochy tummy for our snowman. All right, for his little head, I'm just using a single rod, a single wide instead of the double wide. And I am going to put one wrap on his little neck here. And when I put that first wrap, I want to make sure that it's touching that Pooji glass, the big fat one, as much as possible. So try to get a good connection between basically these two donuts. We're just making two donuts. Then I put a second wrap next, and then a third, a skinny little third. Just like that, 3 wraps across. And then let's go ahead and do our second wrap. Just like so. So 1.5 to 2 wraps high. You know, eyeball it. Use your artist's instinct to see what works good for you. But it's basically, the basic shape is a donut. A donut for his little head. And now I'm going to go ahead and heat up that donut and angle my mandrel down so we can get him a nice little head. And just kind of work with gravity and heat and patience to get a little head the way you like it. And I like it like that. So, and again, he's got a little flat top here, but that's good because that'll help us get his little hat on. Okay, let's start at the top. I've got a little bit of black here. I'm going to go ahead and put his eyes in. And that's just 2 little dots. I don't do googly eyes on white characters because when you have white on white, you can't really see the googly eyes. So I'm going to leave him just with the black coal eyes. Here's an orange that we are going to put his little nose on. Right between his eyes, push down, drag, pull up, push down, drag, pull up, and he's got a little bit of a beak here. So using my dental tool to gently sculpt his nose. Okay, now that I got his face on, this is the point where I put his hat on his head. So I've got my black, I think this is Creation is Messy, maybe Onyx, maybe Hades, maybe Tuxedo. You can also use a fret black, whatever black you have. Or maybe you want to give him a blue hat. All right, one little wrap on the top of his head, just like so. And don't worry if it gets wrinkled because hats have wrinkles in them. And then right next to his head, I'm going to put a second little wrap. Just like so. It kind of gives them a brim, but it's a very, like a tight brim, I guess. So it's not going to pop off. And you know what? I'm looking, the hat's a little flat, so let's put a second wrap on top of the first one. Just like that. There you go. A little hat. And if you want, go ahead and take a look at the brim. Press it down a bit. Again, hats are supposed to have wrinkles in them, so it's okay if there's a wrinkle. But I don't want any type or any part of that hat having pieces that might pop off. So that looks cute. I think I like that hat. It's very cute. All right, for his little scarf, I just made some stringer the other day. Oh my God, this is so long. Twisted cane stringer. The longest twisted cane stringer ever. Whoops. Okay, here we go. So with the stringer, you got to heat it up just like the rods, especially if your cane is a bit thick, which of course I have thin parts and thick parts and God knows what happened here. I'm going to start on one side, lay it down, come around the back. Oh, my stringer's so long, it's crashing into my camera. Come around the back, come up to the front, crisscross over right in front of his nose. There you go. That's his scarf. And then, of course, we're going to just go around and gently press in to make sure it's really sticking good. So let's get the other side. Now, when you're pressing in on these stringers or doing work like this, just securing the glass, you want to make sure you go up and down, because if you drag it on the hot glass, you might smear your cane. And so I really try to keep the lines in my twisted cane very crispy and clean. And I found that if I just do a press down on my stringer instead of a dragging the tool across, you don't like smear the colors together. I also think that the type of glass you use helps with that a lot. So that's why I've started making all my cane out of Creation is Messy. It's a stiffer glass and it really helps it not smear. All right, let's put the final little buttons on his belly. Just two right under his scarf, like so. And there you go, you guys. That is your snowman. Push those dots in. That is your snowman added to the holiday repertoire. Have a good day, you guys. I will be back again soon. Bye.